Hi everybody, this is Tammy and I'm here today with a tutorial on the Stupendous Frontage. I absolutely love this product. I was asked by one of the administrators at Scrapbooking with Me Boutique to do this tutorial, and I happily said yes because I love it. I love using it on my projects. It's just so beautiful and it just adds a little extra something, and I love the variations in the color. I just love it, love it, love it. And I am by no means an expert on this product. I've watched a lot of videos. Stupendous does have a YouTube channel, and I've watched a lot of videos that the developer of the product, her name is Fran, and that's why it's called Fran-tage. And I've watched a lot of her tutorials on using this product. So I really love it. And I've gotten all but one of these bottles from the boutique. So here is the pearlized mica fragments, and you can see how chunky those are. These don't melt, but they do lock onto the embossing enamel. So that's how you hold these onto your project, by using the embossing enamel. So this is the shabby white embossing enamel. I also have the shabby pink and also the shabby blue. So you can see how those look. And I will pour some of them out. This is the aged gold, the aged aqua, and then also aged rose. And I'm sure there's a few other colors, but these are the ones that I have. And my favorite, or the first one I ever got, was the shabby white. So you can see it's about half full, and I've used it on a ton of projects, so it lasts a really long time. And then I got the pink one and then the blue one, so I just love this. And you put this on your project a couple of different ways. If you want to stamp with it, or to put it onto like metal or wood, then you have to use a watermark stamp pad. And the one that I use the only one that I've ever used is Versamark. I know there's other ones out there, but this one works so well for me that I haven't tried anything else. So I love Versamark. And so let me share with you some things that I've already done, just so you can kind of see, and the items that I use. So these are some hearts that I did. I first stamped the hearts with some black StazOn ink, and then this is the aged rose. So you can see how that looks. And I just, if I had used like a Stamp-O-Majig or something, I could have gotten the Versamark stamp right on top of the other one, but I like that it's offset a little bit. So I stamped the heart with some black StazOn, and then I stamped it again with the Versamark, and then I added the aged rose, and then I heat it with my heat gun. Now, everywhere that there is Versamark, or at least some of the embossing enamel, the other items that's in the embossing enamel is like some gold flakes, some gold embossing powder, some glitter. All of that will only stick where there's like the embossing powder. So there's like little fine glitter that you can see kind of right here. That's going to brush off. I can brush that off with my finger or with a little towel or something, but that will brush off. It's not going to stick. So this one is really nice. It has gold in it. You can see there's some chunky pink, a little bit of black, and it gives you that really pretty aged color. Love that one. Now this one, oh my gosh, this is the aged gold, and look, this is a little glassine bag. I stamped it. I kind of got some Versamark, and you know, not just on the raised area of my stamp, so it kind of messed up a little bit right there, but I think I can like actually I probably wouldn't even do anything with it. I just love the way that it looks. But that's the aged gold embossing enamel. And this is so chunky, and look how raised that is. And I only heated it for like it doesn't even take a long to melt it. But this one, let me open it up so you can see. Look how chunky that glitter is. Or not glitter, that embossing enamel. It's beautiful. And there's also some black in this one. So there's black in there, and that's what gives it the aged look. And then also because it's really chunky. So love that one. And I kind of spilt it. Let me get a towel. Because I don't want this to get on another project when I'm heating this stuff. So let me wipe that off. Okay. I also use some printer paper because I can fold that easily and put the product back into the little bottle when I'm done. So I usually put this down on my craft mat before I start. And then these two I did with the shabby pink. Love, love, love. So this is this dollar stamp that I got from Michael's a while ago, and it just says dream. And you can see the shabby colors have little fine glitter in it. It has chunks of white. The shabby pink has chunks of white and also pink. Also chunks of gold embossing powder, and then it has the gold flaky glitter. So love it. And you can see some of the glitter up here, but all of that will brush off because it only sticks to where the embossing powder is. But within the embossing powder, you'll see some of the gold, some of the white, of course some of the pink, and also some of the glitter. And that's what I love about it, because you don't just get one flat color. There's so much dimension and so many different colors going on. But I love how they look on these little glassine bags. And now you can also obviously stamp with it like I showed. So this is a TPC stamp. Yeah, TPC Studio stamp, and I stamped this dress form, I stamped this little sewing machine, and then I also stamped the scissors. Things that have a lot of detail are kind of hard to show all of those details once you put on the embossing enamel and heat it up. So here's the dress form. The dress form looks really pretty. I love that. Now here's the sewing machine. A lot of the detail got lost. You see how here's the stamp. That's how it's supposed to look, and then that's how it looks with the embossing enamel. So it loses some of the detail, which for me it's not that bad because I like the way that looks. And then here's the scissors. So the scissors, I'm not crazy about them, and I use the shabby white on the scissors, but look how pretty those scissors are. And then that's how it looks with the embossing enamel. So it does lose some of the detail when you use this because it is a chunky embossing powder. Okay, here's another one that I did. This is a Kaisercraft birdcage stamp. Excuse me. And that's how it's supposed to look. And then here it is. I used the shabby white embossing enamel, and that's how it came out. So it did lose a little bit of the detail, but I kind of like this. I really like the way that it looks. So not bad. So that's all the stamping, and those are all of my samples. So now let me show you how to use it. Actually, I have one more sample. This is a wood piece. It's a chandelier that I got from the Michael's dollar spot, or from Michael's. It was $1. This is how it started off, just plain wood. I used the shabby blue embossing enamel, and that's how it turned out. So now I'm gonna make a tag really quick so that I can show you one other way to use. If you're not gonna use emboss and watermark stamp pad, then the other way that you can use the product is to sprinkle it on your paper and then heat it from underneath. So here's a tag that I'm making, and I'm using some Prima Romantique paper. So I'm using the Prima Romantique paper, and here's my tag. Here's the paper that I'm going to cover it with, and then here's just another little image from one of the other pages in the collection that I fussy cut, and then I'm going to put the chandelier like right there. So I want to add some frontage like at the top and down the side, but I want to sprinkle it on. So I'm not going to use my Versamark. I'm just going to sprinkle the embossing powder onto the paper and then heat it from the bottom. That's why I haven't glued anything onto my tag yet. So I'm going to take this paper here, and I'm going to take my shabby white, and I'm going to shake it up because, like I said, there's fine glitter in there, and sometimes it settles to the bottom. So you want to get everything into your you know, into your project. So shake it up first. So I just poured a little bit into the cap, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit here, kind of like tap it on. Okay, so there's a little bit right here. So here's my heat gun, and sorry for the noise. I'm actually gonna move this because I don't want it to spill. So sorry for the noise, but I'm gonna heat it from the bottom. And the embossing enamel will melt right where it's at. So when you use this method, you don't need any Versamark or any kind of adhesive to hold it down. It's melting on its own and locking into the paper just because you're heating it from the bottom. Okay, and so that melted. You can see it right there. I'm going to put a little bit more down here on this side. Okay, so I sprinkled it on. I'm picking up my paper, turning on my heat gun and heating it from the bottom and letting it melt right where it's at. So this you also don't have that much control over because it's just going to melt wherever it landed. So if you want it to be in a specific place, then you can kind of like pick it up and sprinkle it on with your hand or something, but you know, but I just love the way this looks. And it's almost melted in this little spot here. If you leave it on too long, your paper will burn because you're using a heat gun on the bottom. But you see my paper didn't burn and all of it melted into place. And you can see the gold, you can see the shimmer from the glitter that's in there, and also the white. I just love this stuff so much. So then all I have to do is attach this to my tag, put on my little, glue down my little image here, and then add on my little chandelier. And look how pretty that looks. I just love this stuff so much. It's so beautiful. And if you want like just a splattering of color here and there, you can get it with this product. Love it, love it, love it. So that's the way that you use it, by heating it from the bottom. And there's a little bit of excess here, so I'm just going to pour that right back into the bottle. And I guess that's the original way to use this, but you can, you know, stamp with it, use the Versamark, and then there you go. So now I'm going to do some wood projects. So this is a little feather that I got in one of my design team kits from Scrapbooking with Me boutique. So I'm just going to ink this up, use some of my Versamark, and I'm going to like just get this all, you know, ink it up with the Versamark pad, and then I'm going to sprinkle, I think I'm going to do the aged gold on this one. Okay, so I'm just going to take my Versamark pad and just stamp it right onto the wood piece. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's some here. And it's kind of sticky. So there, that's done. So I'm going to take my aged gold. I'm going to sprinkle it on. And you can see that black coming out. So pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick it up and shake it off, and you can see all the color that's on there, and that's just going to melt so pretty when I heat it with my heat gun. So I'm just going to take this excess and fold my paper and put this right back into the bottle. Tap it a little bit to get anything that's stuck on the paper off, and close that up. Here's a bird cage that I'm going to do the same way. So I'm just going to put frontage on a bunch of them, and then I'm going to heat them all at the same time, or like one right after the other. So here's a bird cage. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just putting the Versamark right directly onto the wood piece. And then I'm going to use the shabby pink on this one. I'll turn this over. Shake it up good to mix up everything that's in the little canister. And then sprinkle it on. You don't have to be, just use a lot of it. And sometimes I'll even go in and press it down. Brush off any that's on my hand. Pick up the piece. And then tap it to get off any excess. Okay, and look how pretty that looks already. And it's going to look even prettier once we heat it. And then I'm going to do one more. Ooh. So let me put this back into the bottle. And that fine glitter, it's fine glitter, so it gets all it does get all over the place. So I keep some baby wipes handy to wipe off my hands and to wipe down my space a little bit. So here is a wood word from Michaels. I'm going to do the same thing, just put some Versamark on this. And then I'm going to sprinkle this with the shabby, oh, I broke it. That's okay. I'm going to sprinkle this with the shabby white. So shake that up, sprinkle it on. Tap off the excess. And then I'm going to put the rest of it, and I put it right away back into the bottle because I don't want it to spill. I don't want it to get all over the place, and I don't want to lose any of it. And like I said, it goes a long way. So I'm just going to fold this in half and then toss that away. Okay, let me put the lid back on this. And move the paper because now I need to heat it, so I'm going to put it on my mat. And these are the 3 pieces that I just did. So I love this, and I'm just going to take a little tool. Make sure if it's metal that it has a plastic handle so that you don't burn yourself, because it's going to get hot. So I'm going to start with the bird cage, and if you're looking at the bird cage, I'm going to start in this lower left corner. So just look at the bird cage and watch. You'll see the color start to lighten up, and that's where it's getting heated at, and then it'll just flow right on up to the top. So here we go. Sorry for the noise. So there, it's already starting. It's getting lighter. I'm going this way and then up. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to start on this side. So you see that color get really bright pink all the way to the top. And then I just go over the whole thing one last time, and then I'm just going to push it to the side. It is hot. It's a liquid. It liquefies and then locks in all of the, the particles. But it's hot right now, so if you touch it, you're going to burn yourself. So let it cool off first. So here's this one with the shabby white on it. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Let me move this one out of the way. So I'm going to do this corner here first. And then my heat gun's already hot, so it's really fast. That's why I like to do a bunch of them at a time and then just heat them all, and it goes a lot faster. So pretty. I just love the shabby white because of all the gold that's in there. So pretty. So that one's done. And you can see it's kind of melting on my craft mat, but all of that, it just wipes right up. Okay, so here's the feather. So this is the age gold, and this is going to be so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to start in the lower left corner again. And you can just see it. Oh, look how pretty that is. Oh, wait. That's why I have the tool. I'm supposed to be holding it down. Okay. Okay, there. So you can see that color just, it's so beautiful. Really beautiful. You can see the embossing enamel just liquefying. And there's more gold up here than down here, so that's why this stayed pretty black. But I could go back over it. It's still wet, so I could go back over it, which I think I'm going to do that. Let me oh, where's my paper? Okay, I'm going to heat it up a little bit, a little bit, and then I'm going to put some more aged gold right just in that corner. Because if I let it cool down, which it is a little bit cool, so let me just add more Versamark. Once it cools, you can put more Versamark and then do it again. But if it was still hot, then I could just put more of the embossing enamel right on top of what's already heated. And then it'll start locking it in and holding it down, and then heat it again. But you need something to hold down the embossing powder. That's why you need the Versamark. Otherwise, you have to heat it from the bottom, because if nothing's holding it down and you turn the heat gun on it, it's just gonna fly all over the place. So that's why you need some type of adhesive to hold it down. Okay, so let me go just back over that one area, and then but the color is so beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. There we go. Okay, so those are my 3 pieces that I did. And I don't only use this on, on wood pieces. I also use it on metal. So these are 2 metal corners that I got from that I purchased from the boutique. So here I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm just going to use my Versamark, and I'm just going to wipe it onto the metal piece. And I'm going to turn these white. So I'm going to put some shabby white on them. So I'm just using my Versamark to put the adhesive all over, my stamp pad to put the Versamark adhesive all over, and then I'm going to use my shabby white, and I'm going to sprinkle that just over the metal piece. Press it down a little bit, pick it up, shake off the excess, put that aside, and then get the other one. And then put this back into the container. Let me wipe off my hands. I forgot to brush it off. Okay, so let's heat these up. Now these are metal, so they're definitely going to be hot when you finish them. So make sure you're not touching them. So here I'm just going to start with this one in the bottom corner. Let me move these pieces off to the side. Okay, so I'm going to hold this down and then heat it up. And it's gorgeous. This just melts right onto where the metal part is, and you can see the embossing enamel underneath on my craft mat where it melted, but it stays only where the metal part is. It doesn't fill in any of the holes or anything like that. It's just so gorgeous. Sorry, this one's off camera and I'm kind of blocking it. So beautiful. So if you have a problem painting your metal pieces, then you can use the Fran-tage to color them. And then this stuff that melted onto my craft mat, once it cools, you can just wipe it right off. See, it's still a little bit wet, so it's kind of hard. But now it's cooling down, and it just flakes right off your mat. So don't worry about it like ruining your mat or anything like that. It won't. You can still wipe it off. So that is my tutorial. I absolutely love it, love it, love it. I love this product. You can find it, like I said, in the boutique. I will put in the description box a link to the boutique. Oh, I forgot to do the mica. Okay, let me try the mica. I haven't used the mica myself personally, so let's see how this works. Okay, let's try this wood piece here. And I'm going to have to ink this up really, really good because this embossing enamel. And this is a Cosmo Cricut little Polaroid frame, wood Polaroid frame. The wording down here that says love this, that's going to get covered. You're not going to see that anymore. So if you have a frame or something that has wording on it and you still want to see it, then just keep in mind that that's not going to stay. So I'm going to try, I guess I'll try the shabby blue. And I'm going to sprinkle this on. Oh, so sorry, my camera cut off while I was doing these and I didn't even realize it. But these are some tags that I just created using the shabby blue embossing enamel and some of the mica flakes. This is the first time that I've ever used the mica flakes. I couldn't find, or I didn't see that many videos or tutorials on how to use it. I did find out that these don't melt. They are held into place by the embossing enamel. But remember, when you turn on your heat gun, whatever's not being held down by the Versamark is going to blow away. So what I did was I took some of the shabby blue embossing enamel and I just put a little bit in the cap with some of the mica flakes. I put some Versamark on my tags, and then I sprinkled the embossing enamel and the mica flake mix onto my tag. And then as soon as I started heating it, the mica flakes, most of them blew away. So on this one, I went back, I let it dry. I took the Versamark refill and I put it on the bottom, and then I heated it up, and that's how these were held into place. And then because this is so liquid, the embossing enamel that was already down on my tag started melting, and then the bottom part was just left like white. So once that dried from the mica flakes, I put some more Versamark from the pad, and then I put some more of the shabby blue, and then heated that up, and that's how the whole tag got covered. But it was a 3-step process with the mica flakes, and I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be. Now this one was a 2-step process. So this one, I inked up the tag with the Versamark ink or Versamark adhesive. I did the same thing. I mixed some some of the mica flakes with the shabby blue. I sprinkled it onto the tag. I started heating it. Most of the mica flakes blew away, and then the embossing enamel heated up and melted. And then I kind of like, as it was melting, I put in a couple of mica flakes, and then when that dried, I put on a second layer of the Versamark and a second layer of the mica flakes and shabby blue mixture, and then I ended up with that. And this has a lot more of the mica flakes in it, so I guess you can try it and then just do 2 coats to get it, you know, if you want to have the mica flakes in it. But I will be looking this up more and finding out more information on the proper way to use that. Like I said, I hadn't used it before and I couldn't find that many tutorials on it, so I wasn't quite sure how to go about using it. But it worked. So I just love using the frontage on wood pieces. As you can see, the gold is really beautiful, the pink, the white. I also love using it to change the color of metals. These filigree metal corners are so beautiful with the shabby white on it, and then so are these tags. And of course, the beautiful chandelier. Oh my gosh, I love that. But you can't, you can also use them on your paper by heating it from the bottom. Just sprinkling it. No adhesive necessary. You just sprinkle it on and heat it from the bottom, and it'll lock into your paper wherever it's at. And then you can also stamp with it by using the Versamark or some other type of watermark stamp pad. Put that on your stamp. And then stamp your whatever you're going to stamp, your image on, and then put the embossing enamel and heat it up that way. So a variety of different ways to use this awesome product. I love it, and it is a little bit messy. So just be aware of that, but you get some beautiful results with this. So I love it, and you can definitely find it at the Scrapbooking with Me boutique. I will put a link to the boutique in the description box. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around. I know it was a long video, but I love using this. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're all having a really great day. Bye.